Hello, everyone. Welcome to Abnormal Investigations. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Looks like we got a few of you in chat tonight are ready to talk about Mr. Messik going missing. My voice is kind of messed up because for some reason bugs are attached to me and I inhaled another bug today. So, yeah, it's been one of those kind of days. And plus, we got storms right now and lightning and all that fun stuff. So, it's really fun up here right now. All right, Norma. Good to see you. Romans is good to see you. Belinda, good to see you. T-Bone, good to see you. Tim Wrestler, good to see you. Lisa, good to see you. I see a lot of our familiar faces in here tonight. All right. I thought you. Mindy, we are going to be talking about a missing person tonight. Amy Tongue, good to see you. Dana Affliction, good to see you. Amy Tongue, if you could you send me an email later? Just say hello and I'll tell you why. But I would like to talk to you if you don't mind. Abnormalinvestigations77 at gmail.com. I'd like to talk to you if you don't mind. If you don't, you don't have to, but I would like to ask you a question. Um, we got Sharon Guy in here tonight, guys. Very, very nice to have her here as always. We got Lake Superior Girl in here tonight. Got some northern people in here tonight. We might be in trouble now. I don't know how many of those we can handle on a night. See a lot of familiar faces. Good to see everybody in here. Nancy, good to see you. Thank you for moderating also. You do a wonderful job. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody else on tonight, guys, as we do the the top of the show where we do a lot of our announcements and everything because they may have something that they want to add to it. So let me bring Jesse and Randy on the show.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
How is everybody?
Just
Outstanding.
peachy. Just peachy.
Amen to that, brother. Well, we got some people in here tonight. We got over 50 people in here tonight. I added a last minute thing to the show, guys. I don't know, Jesse, you know what I'm talking about. Should I show it now or at the end of the show?
I would say let's show it now.
Okay. Before I came on tonight, guys, you know, the other side has been attacking us and everything, and they talk about how they don't attack family and everything. Tonight, they went over the line and they attacked my mom again, which my mom is not on here. She never does anything on here. And they've attacked her again. I will stand up for my mom. You know, that's my mom. I will stand up for her publicly. I'm not afraid to. Anybody else associated with these goons that attack women and are so filthy, then if you're attached to them and they're your friends, you deserve them. Because somebody that can say this about my mom that doesn't do anything, they're pretty sick. This is what I ended up getting sent today, guys. It was posted over in PRT News. It's a picture of my mom sitting at the table with us, and Madeline, the skunk chap, comes on, and she writes down, "Dirty Ike Salty, the only woman he'll ever have is the one he came out of." Just to show y'all a little bit about what I'm going through, the attacks on my family. So I will stand up for my mom, and shame on anybody that is attached to these people that are making false accounts saying that me and Jesse are going around and fake accounts. I found out who the fake accounts are now. I think it's pretty obvious who was doing all the fake accounts all along.
Yeah.
We're not talking to them. We're not giving them any attention. They continue to attack. They're filthy. They're nasty. So I just had to say that, guys, so y'all would know what was going on over there. Jesse, you anything fast you want to say about that or anything? And then we're going to move on because we're not going to waste our time on it.
Yeah. No, I just the fact that they sit there and whine and cry, especially her. and makes comments saying that, they just want to be left alone, and they would stop if they would just be left alone. We're not doing anything. And they can
Right.
make the accusations all they want and say that we're fake accounts and coming after them. There's nothing showing that. There's no proof, because there is no proof, because we're not the ones that are doing it. And she of all people is the one that's really pushing it and is disgusting. So
She's just
she
like
gets
that.
off on it.
She's like that little chihuahua that's just running around trying to get the big dogs to jump.
She gets off on it.
She does. She's a nasty little thing. But I'm glad she put that out there, though, because it's going to be very valuable. So, Randy and Jesse, what would you tell our viewers about the Patreon we just put out with Travis Carpenter? Did we not go down the rabbit hole on that one, or what?
Yeah.
If you want to know a little bit about what's going on, I'd watch it. If you don't want to, don't watch it.
I think it was more one of those, we went down the rabbit hole and we touched on just about everything that we could in that ADHD episode of going down that rabbit hole.
But a thing I'd like to also remember, Travis Carpenter let everybody in on something never before released material.
A couple of things.
So he released some things from his dad's email and some photos that have never been released. Thank you, Travis, for choosing us to do that on our show. We appreciate that. And he decided to share it on the Patreon. And I will say that both of those are breathtaking. And thank you, Travis, for choosing us to share that with. We appreciate that, and God bless you for that. And it's a pleasure to work with you. You're not only a friend, you're a brother and a colleague, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Just to hear what Travis Carpenter has, the email that he found, is worth watching the seminar, just for that information alone.
Yeah, that really hits. It really does.
And it gives you a greater picture, or you get a bigger look at the bigger picture of the battle that we're in. If that makes any sense to anybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that a lot of people think that you're fighting this battle alone, and we're not.
Right. Welcome, Adam Hernandez from San Antonio. Good to see you. Glad to have you. Que pasa?
God bless Texas.
That's right. God bless America, too, right now. We need it. Everybody needs to turn to God right now.
Yeah.
As well.
So also, guys, on the Patreon and on the YouTube members only, I done the reverse camera footage that everybody was asking for. It's over 1 hour. It is now available to Patreon and YouTube members. I don't know how many of y'all have watched it. So has anybody watched it? Has anybody seen anything in that? I have not watched it. I'd love to see in chat if anyone has been able to look at that, because it's over an hour. So there's a lot of footage right there. What else we got going on? We're going to be doing more of those, by the way, guys. It'll be on the AI Seeking the Truth. It'll be the daytime investigations. And I do have an announcement about the AI Seeking the Truth daytime investigations. Kaylee is going to be appearing with me on some of those and helping me do some of the daytime investigations, shows, and evidence and stuff like that. So we'll get to see Kaylee coming out on AI Seeking the Truth, messing around, and as well as the Wide Open Adventures. I'm not going to allow her. This was a dad decision. I am not going to allow her to do the dark time. She will not be participating in any of the dark investigations at dark time. After seeing what I've seen, the video that we're going to be releasing and everything, I've decided that she is not going to do that. She can go in the daytime. I don't have a problem with that, but I'm not going to have her engaged in any of the nighttime investigations. That is not any place for a lady. It's too dangerous, folks. Just to be honest, it's too dangerous.
Hey, Mike, can you repeat that one more time, just in case some people didn't hear that? The last bit.
Which part about it being too dangerous?
Correct. For a woman, could you repeat that last part one more time?
Well, not every woman, I guess. Let me clarify.
Yes, we
For
need clarification.
me, somebody that has like Kaylee, a bad encounter that affects you emotionally, that's not a good place for her to be. You know, whenever I think a lot of people seen, she just does not enjoy that. That's just something she does not enjoy. And if you don't enjoy it, you shouldn't be doing it. It's going to get you hurt or somebody else hurt. And I think she's going to have fun on the daytime. She's going to be doing the Wide Open Adventures channel. She's going to be doing a lot of shorts over there, so everybody can go check her out. She's going to be doing some shorts. I've given her full access to that channel, so she can do them without me letting her do it. So we got a lot of goals we're working on together. We had a big talk tonight, and we had a good ride together on the way to town, and we discussed some goals and where we want these channels to go. And we have a lot of ideas and a lot of collaboration that's going to be coming up, if you will. We have a very special guest I'm going to be interviewing with on the 14th. I will be dropping that interview the following Friday, guys. You're going to love it. I'm telling you. Abnormal is coming up on the podcast also. It's going to be a hell of a drop. I'm very excited. I guess I'm going to kind of throw Jesse under the bus right now since we're on it. Jesse is going to be doing something pretty special on the AI Seeking the Truth channel also, because she can't seem to get a breath of air over on her channel, because seems like if it isn't one side attacking, it's another side. So I'll let her go ahead and take over from there, and I'll rest my vocal cords a little bit. Having a little bit of trouble talking tonight.
Well, in regards to that, I want to say thank you, Figgy. That's my favorite music too. But yes, I will be Thursday. I will be doing the live stream for my camp out on AI Seeking the Truth. So I will probably do a couple different live streams and take you guys along as I set up camp and then do my night camp at the spot that I'm going to be going to. It's about 3.5 hours north of me. And because of the opportunity that I have with the recording that Mike is going to be doing, I figured take the AI seeking. And since I, again, can't really seem to get a whole lot of leeway on my channel, why not help and assist, and we'll do AI seeking and see what we can find. So yeah, I'll probably be doing the setup and then the little bit of the night investigation, and if anything happens, then I'll be going live again. We'll see what happens. But I hope you guys will pop in and say hi. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do a whole long live stream or if I'm going to do maybe a couple broke up, but stay tuned and I will let you guys know. But I hope you guys can join and we'll enjoy. It also depends too if I can actually get into the spot. I don't know if anybody's been following in the area that I currently live. When I left Saturday night from my investigation, as you guys know that we're watching on Arcane, that we got hit with major storms, and it actually was a whole lot worse than I even realized. By the time I got home, my daughter had actually called me from work and said that she was actually scared because they were having issues with flooding right down the road. They ended up having a couple of the apartment buildings in downtown Milwaukee that actually ended up flooding, and people were like trapped in buildings. They actually ended up closing the state fair here in the state early because of the whole field. The fairgrounds were completely covered in the flood, and the place that I'm actually going to is that same exact river that is overflowing and flooded right now. So I will be finding a spot. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get into the spot that I want to get into, that I'm familiar with from being up there so many years. But yeah, join me. It should be good. Yeah.
So
My
I guess I
rambling.
have to apologize and reiterate again. Yeah, I believe a woman can do that. I seen the chat. I was laughing at it. They were saying, Jesse, can a woman actually do that?
Yeah, I sometimes think that people forget that I am a woman. But I'm kind of used to it. That's how I was treated too when I was in the service. People, the guys would start talking and chit chat, and it's like, hey, I am here. Oh yeah, you don't count though.
I will abstain from any input on this conversation at this point. I've already got the taste to the bottom of my boot in my mouth. I will. I think I'll stop there.
Water already. Why?
Yeah.
Women.
Yeah.
He was only speaking about his daughter.
Uh-huh.
He didn't mean that to every
I
woman
know.
in the world.
That's right, Randy. That's exactly right.
From a
Thank
dad's
you,
But I
Randy.
wanted
perspective, dad's
to
point,
so
and I
he
get
didn't
it.
get. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk. I just wanted him to clarify so he didn't get,
Oh yeah.
That
I understand.
viral if that wasn't corrected really quick.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Jesse's going to be helping me set up a couple of extra computers. It's going to be helping me on my show. I picked up a couple of really nice Chromebook laptops that should run faster and be a lot faster than this computer. This is a really nice computer, don't get me wrong. But I got two really nice Chromebooks I went and purchased, and we're going to be using those. They should be a lot faster, a lot better cameras, and yada, 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 faster processing. Someday, Randy, whenever I get the funds, I'm going to have Randy build me a computer. Randy is awesome at computers.
I've got 30 plus years building and networking computers, so I know a little bit about them. Mainly for
Randy's forgot more about computers than I will ever know. I see some new faces in here tonight, guys. We got Veronica Tolero. Good to see you. We got T-Bone in here. Good to see you, T-Bone. I know I ain't going out there. I'll stand toe-to-toe against any man, but I ain't going to play with monsters. T-Bone, I honestly sometimes would absolutely agree with you, because I'm just going to be honest with everybody. My last two boots on the ground have not been fun. That's a beautiful cat. I like that cat.
Have you named that one yet, Randy?
his name is Chomper.
Chomper? I love it.
Yeah. Because when it's feeding time, if your hands are in the way, he'll chomp them too.
And if you happen to pass away, he'll take care of the burial and everything. I'll never get over that ever since I heard that about cats, guys. That just really bothers me. I don't even look at my cat the same anymore. And she don't even like me that much. She don't even like me that much the way it is. So she would probably take pleasure in it. Sometimes I wonder if the reason she bites me in my sleep is just to see if I'm still alive. Do I get to eat him tonight? She takes a little taste. She gets that little taste. So, guys, I was talking to Jesse about this earlier, and Randy, your input's totally accepted, and hopefully you will. So a lot of y'all have asked me, and I don't even know why y'all would. I don't know. It just, you guys amaze me and bless me so much. And a lot of y'all have asked me, would I look at doing a second tier on my Patreon? If I did a second tier, guys, the only thing I could think that would be different that we could possibly do to make the second tier worth it to you guys would be, of course, the first tier people are going to get all the stuff the first tier does. You're going to get the photos and all that. The second tier, I was thinking about, Randy and Jesse, one of the things second tier people would get is I was to go purchase some more deer cameras, and I was to post those at the hot spots overnight and see if we can capture anything and let everybody have that to go through. That way you would get to see from daylight to dawn what's going on in those areas while we're not there. Might really catch some pretty wild stuff. Maybe on the second tier, we could do a meet and greet once a month to where we could come on and we could take questions from you guys over anything that you wanted to ask. We would just be at your disposal. Like anything you'd want to ask from the previous month, about the boots on the ground, about the photos, anything that you guys would want to share, or you guys could even come on. Like I said, I'm not real sure how the second tier works on Patreon. Would we want to do a second tier on Patreon, my question is, or do we want to do a second tier on our YouTube members? And then just have one tier on Patreon and just put everything on Patreon under the one tier and give our members an incentive to be a member on the actual channel where their names are in blue or green and drop everything, which we're, I think, a little bit limited on what we can show still on a membership side only. So what is some of your all's input? What would you all like? Thank you, Veronica. That means a lot to me. It really does.
And I didn't even think about that until just now. The fact that you said, we're limited to what you can actually put on YouTube. But whereas Patreon, if you were to do tiers on there, if it would be more beneficial to do a tier on Patreon rather than on YouTube memberships.
The only thing is, I am not real familiar with going live on Patreon. I have no idea how that works. No idea.
You could probably watch a YouTube video on it.
Right? Yeah, I could do that. But another thing I was thinking, do we want to, how do you separate the two? And I guess we could take a vote, see what everybody wants. Would you all rather have a second tier on the YouTube, or would you all rather have the second tier on the Patreon? Write YouTube or Patreon in the comments, guys, and let us know what y'all would like. Because I always come to you guys. Y'all know that. I make y'all a big part of this channel. And you guys have a lot of say because we couldn't do it without you.
How much is the Patreon membership? I don't know.
The first tier, I believe, is at night. I think it's like $4.99. Is that right, Randy? Am I right?
I think it's $4.99. I think.
I can't be sure.
I know the YouTube membership is $4.99.
So is the Patreon? I don't know. I don't know what the Patreon is. I'm not sure.
Okay. Patreon's $50. I'm all for. It's been a while since I've looked, but is it $5 for Patreon?
Okay, I'm gonna look.
Okay, Jesse. Jesse.
I gotta know.
She's gonna find out for us because I'm not sure. Okay, everybody's saying YouTube. So it looks like YouTube wins.
Oh. Okay. Well, I still need to know, so I gotta look this up.
And I Patreon, guys, will be where I drop things I can't on YouTube. If it's like we find some hogs that are slaughtered out there, of course I can't drop that on YouTube, but that will go to the Patreon. So for all of you blood and guts people that really want the deep stuff, that'll be on Patreon, the T-Carp, Patreon. But as far as the overnight stuff and all of that, Margie says it is $5. So
okay.
Hey,
Randy's going to be a Patreon guy. I can already tell by that smile.
Maybe you can make some videos on what not to do when camping.
But the question is, do you want me to demonstrate them?
Get off. Come back.
Oh no, there's a free option, which I don't know what the free option is, but it says $10.
Is it 10?
It says $10.
Okay, Patreon may be a little higher. It's actually two different companies too, so yeah. they're not connected. That's why we're able to share. Like Travis Carpenter, guys, no way I could release that on YouTube at all. No way. We would be done the first 10 minutes. I mean, we went deep. So yeah, there's no way we could do that. AI seeking the truth coming up, guys. I do have, and I don't know the exact date unless Jesse knows. I do have a daytime investigation planned already, and yes, it will involve the rear view camera, and we will release that to the members and Patreon members also. First tier, that will be a first tier release. Second tier releases are probably going to be, like I said, the cameras at nighttime, which we'll have to add something, Jesse, to that, because we're not going to be putting a lot of cameras out. We got to make it worth the while. I mean, what else would we do for a second tier? You know, what else could we add in there to really get people over for the second tier? It almost comes down to the second tier. Do we want to do the reverse video on the second tier and then just do the photographs on the first tier? And now everybody gets a taste right now on the first tier of this one, of what it's going to look like and what they're going to get if they go to the second tier. You know, I don't know.
That I could see that as being an option. Yeah, second tier gets the full videos, and you know they get the full breakdown of everything, and first tier gets a couple of the photos. And
Because the rear view camera is what I decided to name. It's a rear view, kind of like a rear view mirror. I decided to, what a lot of people don't know is I'm doing twice the work on that now. I got to do the video I'm doing plus the whole video again in reverse. That's a lot of work to do that, but I will do that if that's what people want.
Hi, Walter. Good to see ya.
Ooh, had some straight down lightning.
Uh-oh.
All right, so that's where we're at right now. And again, guys, Jesse will be going live on AI Seeking the Truth Thursday. What time Thursday?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head out early, like early afternoon, so I can avoid traffic and get up there. So
Jesse will make a thumbnail and get it put out, and we'll push the thumbnail out so y'all will know. Just look for it for Thursday for the thumbnail.
yeah, I'll definitely be doing a nighttime one for sure. Like maybe I do like a 9 o'clock night investigation. You know, no matter what, do a 9 o'clock. But then I really do want to kind of get in there a little earlier too, so that I can see the setup and see kind of where I am and the area and stuff too.
There's Qbot. Good to see you, Qbot. Awesome. Yeah, we'll get a thumbnail out on that for sure. There is Mr. Walters in here tonight. Good to see you, Walter. All right.
And like I said too, if people, I mean, if depending on what people think too, maybe I could do, if I have the connection, I would like to do a longer stream and do, you know, more than just a couple of hours. If anybody would be interested in that, if they could handle listening to my voice.
Or they can, do like me. A lot of times when I'm listening to channels I like, if I can't participate, I leave them on and I listen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see with you and Jesse both on there. That'd be cool as hell. You go to one of your hot spots. That'd be cool as hell. I bet you would have a flight that you normally would if she was you.
It would probably be a life-changing experience.
You know, the thing is too, I have this theory, and I know we've talked about it before. So if you think about the LBL man-made lake area where you're located and you're doing your investigations, again, another man-made lake area. There was another hot spot where there was another YouTube creator that actually investigates this other area that's also, again, man-made lake area. And this place that I'm actually going to be investigating on Thursday is another man-made lake area here in the state. And there's been some weird stuff that had happened up there previously when we used to vacation up there. So That's why I think that this is going to be, it'll be interesting for sure. Especially with the flooding we're having.
Yeah, I got out of there the other night because that area I was in is a big flood area. I mean, it can flash flood very fast. I've actually been down there when it done it. And I heard what sounded like a bunch of cattle running through the trees. And I turned and it was not cattle, it was water. And it hit me about probably mid shin high, just out of the blue. And by the time we had drove our vehicle out of there, it was up to our door that fast. So that can be a really bad place.
Yeah. Yeah, you're lucky you got out when you did.
Especially it wasn't supposed to storm.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And have you noticed that the storm today, Randy, is staying right over us? The news is even talking about how it's not moving. It's just staying right over us.
Yeah. Is that normal?
Well, I think if you watch our Patreon video, it would probably explain a lot of it.
Perhaps.
All right, guys. So I know we said we was going to talk about Tom tonight. So what we're going to be doing, guys, is I'm being as safe as I can. I just unplugged my computer, so we're running on batteries only because we have straight down lightning, and I really don't like having these on my head with straight down lightning. So what we're going to do is this gentleman right here is who we're going to be talking about. I got a photo of him so everybody could kind of see. We're going to be talking about this gentleman right here. All right, I think I got a slight delay just because of the storms outside. Hopefully y'all can still hear me.
Yep, can hear you.
All right. So this guy's name is Tom Messik. The date he went missing was November 15th, 2015. He was 82 years old. The location he went missing was New York, Lake George Wild Forest. He was never located. The moon phase was a waxing crescent, which goes along quite a bit. A lot of these did with my theory, losing light or gaining light moons, but the full moon seems to be not as active. Not saying it doesn't happen on the full moon, but it's just not as active. This is not a happy ending, guys. This is not what we would call a happy ending case. He was never located. On November 15th of 2015, Thomas Messik Sr., aged 82, an ex-paratrooper, walked into the woods south of Brant Lake in New State to hunt for deer and was never seen again. No sign of him or his belongings ever turned up, including a rifle, a walkie-talkie, despite an extensive search of the area. Unusually, guys, the FBI was even involved in this investigation, which is very unusual for the FBI to become involved in an investigation that does not go across state lines. Okay, so that's what makes it pretty rare. The FBI even placed in their report that this was a strange and puzzling hunting disappearance. So something brought them right into this missing persons case. I would theorize and I would guess that they probably already had an idea of what happened. I'm sure that they're probably familiar with this area, and they probably have an idea of what probably took place or what was involved, at the minimum of him going missing. What do y'all think? I'm looking for something, sorry.
Yeah, Vicky, usually the FBI doesn't get involved unless it's over state lines or what is it? There's like state lines or something else.
VIPs,
Yeah.
something like that, or somebody that's that is a federal agent, federal employed person, sometimes a state employed person. Usually not just a missing person. They're usually not involved in those.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And he was in a hunting park because he was with his family, right?
he was with some of his hunting friends, I believe, is what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So I couldn't find what I was looking for, but that's okay. I don't have to have it. So what happened is a little bit about Tom. Tom lived in the city of Troy in New York State and was out that Sunday with 6 of his friends, guys. 6 friends. And he did have some family members who were hunting near Lily Pond in the area of the state land that is part of the Lake George Wild Forest. Okay. So Tom is not only an 82-year-old hunter that knows the woods, that is familiar with the woods, he's also a ex-paratrooper. Anybody knows about paratroopers? This guy is a bad dude, very well trained. The older members of the group, 4 of them, were watchers. They were in a static position, set on a log, similar, and a comfortable spot. Okay, now the older members of the group, which was Tom, was one of those. What they had decided to do, since they were older, is they was going to be static. And what they're talking about as far as static and hunting is they were going to sit still in what you would call a vertical line, okay? And while the younger hunters would go out and try to push the deer toward them, and then they would harvest the deer. The younger guys were going to do the walking, and the older guys were just going to be static, and they were going to wait for the deer to be pressed to them. While the younger hunters used a path around the lake to drive the deer to the watchers as part of the drive. Okay, so that's a pretty normal thing to do. I've done that. I'm sure Randy's a deer hunter. I don't know if Jesse's a deer hunter, but there has been times that some days you don't sit in a deer stand and just wait for a deer. You go out and we actually walk and we look for the deer. After 55 years of hunting with a long lifetime of friends, also senior men, all these guys are like hunters. The woods is nothing new to these guys. Messik's hunting camp and Hague was decided where they was going to go. Okay, they had never been to this place before, guys. They decided to hunt this place. Now, they have hunted the area. They are familiar with the area. They just never hunted this particular area, okay? This was the first time that they would go and actually hunt this area. So Tom was supposed to stay in one spot as the group members walked through the woods to push the deer toward him. But when they arrived at where he was supposed to be, Tom was gone. Without any trace of him or his belongings, no sign of any deer was found that day. Now, they said it was not common for everybody to leave their positions whenever you do what they call static hunting. And one of the reasons you would not move during static hunting is you have people moving towards you that are armed. If you move and they don't know where you're at, somebody mistakes you as a deer, it can be dangerous. Or if they shoot at a deer thinking that you're at certain spots, thinking that the direction they're shooting is safe, and you have now moved, they don't know where you're at. So it wouldn't be common for him to just disappear, to just get up and take off. He was wearing duck boots. He was wearing camouflage pants and a coat, gloves, and a red and black checkered hat he had worn for many years. He carried a rifle and a walkie-talkie. Now, the part that I want to talk to y'all about, and I think this is really strange, we get a lot of these missing persons cases, right? And I just read about another one I'm going to be releasing here pretty soon where a hunter was out had everything he needed. He had food, he had water, he had the clothes, he had a GPS, he had a phone. Okay. Now we see right here that Tom also has pretty much, it sounds like, what he needs. He's dressed for the weather. He has a walkie-talkie. He's familiar with the area. And as a hunter, every hunter knows that your weapon can also be used as a means of communication, 3 shots into the air. So he had different ways to be able to say, I'm in distress, I need help.
Mhm.
He could have picked up the walkie-talkie, he could have used his rifle. I mean, they said, at 100 yards from each other at the most. He could have yelled 100 yards and somebody can hear you.
Right.
So why do these people, my question is, why do these people go missing whenever they have so many ways of communication and ways to navigate the area they're in? Why do they never call for help or use the equipment they have? That would be my question.
On a side note, I did have to look up, but I wanted to see out of curiosity. So, out of the Adirondacks, it looks like that is the same area. It's all in the Adirondack
Yes.
forest, yep, which is a hot spot in New York. I always hear about the Adirondacks. And as far as him not doing it, the only thing that I could possibly think of for not making a distress call would be is if he didn't think there was something to be distressed about. You know, if you're not sure, you don't want to put up a false call. Then again, I mean, I don't know. It's difficult, even if, especially at his age. Maybe pride. I don't know. I mean, why at that age would he just say no? It's my imagination. Something's wrong, and not make a distress call. I mean, I don't know. Am I wrong? Looking at
My
it.
opinion, whatever happens to them, they don't have time to react. Whatever happens, it happens quickly, and they're not able to even yell. So what could take somebody with that kind of training instantly where he couldn't react? He couldn't even get a shot off. He couldn't grab the radio and holler for help. Whatever happened, it happened quickly. And to not leave anything behind, that doesn't seem that would be more in the supernatural category. Do you know if they use dogs to try and track the guy down? Do they bring dogs in to look for him? Do we know about that?
Yeah, they did.
And any information on the dogs?
No, they didn't hit on any scent.
Well, and I know a lot of times there's usually no signs of struggle or anything either. It's just there 1 second, gone the next. Yeah.
So what if I was to throw this theory out there? Here goes my mind. So let's say that these people are out and they do have all these forms of not only navigational equipment, they have forms of communication. They even have a form of defense with their weapon and a form of also communication with their weapon.
And he's trained to hand combat.
Oh yeah, he served in the 82nd Airborne. He was a paratrooper. So he's not unfamiliar with how to navigate the woods, how to survive in the woods. He knows danger. He knows when he's in a bad spot. So what if I'm not even going to say what if, guys. I'm going to not even say what if. I'm going to put this as a direct statement, and I don't do that very often. Y'all know that.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is the guy crippled in his eye? Is he disabled in like his right eye?
Yes, he is blind in one eye.
Yes. My wife was asking the question.
Yeah, he was blind in one eye. Oh, y'all hear that thunder? So here's what I say. This is what I say. Let me know if y'all agree, even in chat. Whatever's taken these people is highly intelligent, because I believe that whatever's taken these people is stalking them, it is strategizing, and it's coming up with a plan of attack. I believe that what Randy said, the reason they don't communicate is because they're unable to. My thing is I believe these creatures have two MOs. Okay, I'm going to throw out two MOs as my theory. So y'all heard it here first. I think depending on the creature that attacks a human in the woods, it being I'm still going to say that they only attack when they have the opportunity. When the opportunity would arise, you have an 82-year-old man, you have an older gentleman. He's blind in one eye, which gives more opportunity. This thing, I believe, was stalking him the whole time he was out there. It had a plan of attack. And the reason I'm saying this is not just because he's missing and nobody found him, is I'm going to base this on intelligence factor. And the intelligence factor that I'm going to base this on is we know that if an animal, a bobcat, a tiger, lion, bear, whatever, would have attacked this gentleman, number one, we would have had a sign of struggle. Number two, we would have had DNA at the scene. There would have been his blood, its blood, something would have been there. There would have been ripped clothing at the scene, animals shred clothing. And then the number one point that I'm going to say that what attacked him was intelligent is when an animal attacks you, no matter what attacks you, the animal is not going to take your gun and your binoculars and everything with it. Whatever is taking these people is removing not only the person, but it's removing the evidence of the person that supports where that person was at. It's taking everything. So whatever's doing this isn't just there to eat us per se. They're there to make sure you're never found, and they know to take everything you have on you with them. Whatever is doing, I mean, would it not even sound even more plausible to say this is not even the act of one thing? This is the act of many, because you're going to have one thing. Is it really going to carry a person and all that stuff, or is it going to be a hunting group, if you will, that decided to go after him because the opportunity arose, and they clean up the area. They take everything. That way you don't know where they went, where they took him, how long was he here, because even if there's a gun left there, that still tells investigators. Hello, Larry. Good to see you. Larry worked for the Department of Justice. He knows if somebody commits a crime, the number one thing most of the time your perpetrator does is he tries to take everything away from there, everything that belongs to the victim. They do that to try to keep you from collecting evidence and being able to pinpoint and say they were here for sure. Because even his buddies cannot say, well, Tom went missing from the stump he was sitting on, right? Because we don't know that, because there's no sign of struggle. There was no tracks. His gun or nothing was left there to even say that he was there. So now, how does the search area work? Well, it's a guesstimation now. Did Tom stay where we left him, or did Tom go out there and wander around? And do we need to widen it? Do we need to lower it? How do we need to do it? It confuses the whole search and rescue. And I'll let you all elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, Pink is suggesting that maybe he walked through a portal, which, we don't have evidence to support it, but we don't have evidence not to support that either. So we really don't know, is my opinion, based on the evidence. Because we don't have any. There's not even a body. So we really can't say he's dead. I mean, don't you have to have a body for there to be a crime? I mean, we have no proof there was a struggle. No, what happened other than he just vanished, right? So how do you prove or disprove anything at this point? It would be difficult.
It's one of the things that me and Larry, I'm sure Larry was taught the same way, is in the cryptid world, unfortunately, we have to speculate. And I hate that. But I mean, like what you're saying, when you don't have proof of the existence of these things, we have to. I mean,
a portal is just as good as any other, That would explain how everything just vanished and the dogs couldn't find anything. I mean, that's as good as explanation as we got.
Right. And what
Or
was you going to
maybe
say, Jess?
some hole ate the rifle and everything. I mean, we really don't know what's out there. There's more than just werewolves and Bigfoot out there. We know that.
Yeah. Well, and that was kind of what I was going to say about the rifle disappearing. Is you always hear about even Bigfoot taking the weapons and destroying the weapons. It would make you kind of question why, if it was Bigfoot, why they would take him and his weapon. Why would they just not leave the weapon behind?
And maybe they want him to teach them how to use it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't think they would need a weapon at all.
that guy could teach them everything that they need to know about weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just joking, guys.
So I have a question. I'm going to throw another theory out there for you guys. Good to see you, Larry. Always good to see you, Larry Fisher. Good man. All these storms and stuff, guys, he'll fix your roof too, because I bet there's some people going to be needing it. So I've been thinking about the water, right? It goes all the way back to the 1970s Boggy Creek, okay? They always follow the creek. So what if the reason they don't always follow the creek is for food and water? What if one of the I'm sure that's one of the reasons, but what if one of the other reasons is, what if they have underwater access to cave systems? And the reason I'm saying that is based on one of the investigations I done. If you will, we will use that as case law. See, I put a lot of my stuff I learned into this best I can. So if you look at that as case law, we had a child that goes missing. The child stated, this is the child, was taken into the water, taken through a tunnel. The child comes up in this cave, right? In a cave. And the child says there were little people around him. It was an underground city. There was these creatures down there. And it was a whole different area, right? And this is a child. The child ain't going to know to make all this up. But here's the thing. When the rescuers went looking for that child, they found the dog soaking wet and laying beside the water's edge. That dog was waiting for that child to come out of where that child was taken. Dogs are loyal. So that child was taken into that water and up and into a cave. So knowing how search and rescue works, and knowing using FLIR and thermal and infrared, and if these creatures, and the reason we don't see these people, if they're pulling people underground from the beginning, you're not going to see them on FLIR. You're not going to see them on an IR. You're not going to see them on any of that. They're going to be gone. And what better place to lower your body heat than to get into a cave and hide from FLIR would be underwater. Is that one of the reasons we have water present in most of these disappearances that are cryptid related, is because they do have these underwater places? I mean, look at something as simple as a beaver, right? As a beaver, they build a beaver dam, right? You can swim under the beaver dam and you can go under it and you can emerge inside of it. Okay. Beavers have to breathe oxygen. So if these things are going underwater and they have places built under these large riverbanks, which wouldn't be hard to do, catfish do it, beavers do it, why couldn't something larger and more intelligent build an even more elaborate home underneath these large banks of these creeks, take you under the water? Dogs can't smell in water. Is that why we're not getting scent? Because a dog can't sniff water? Because the people are being taken into the water and up and under these caves, and that's where they're devoured? And then what do we do as humans whenever we eat dinner, right? We go out, and I hate to compare a human as to an animal, but if you are one of these creatures and you do hunt humans, you're going to go out and you're going to catch the human. What's the first thing when we get a deer? We field dress it, right? Why do we field dress the deer? We take off of the deer what we're not planning on eating. We get rid of what we don't need, right? Is that why we find all the people's clothes and stuff taken off of them and left at the scene? They are getting you prepared to consume you. And then when they take you down and under and they consume you, right? What do we do after we eat a chicken? We throw our bones out to the dogs or we get rid of them. So when they clean their house after they have ate of you what they want to eat, they bring it out of their home because they clean their home and they throw it out in the woods in a place that was already searched. How did we find it in a place we had searched 3 or 4 times? Because you weren't looking under the water where it ate the person. It cleaned its house and got rid of the garbage. What do y'all think about that? That's just a theory I've come up with.
It sounds plausible.
Except a lot of times, isn't their clothing and boots like found all nice and neat placed? Why? I mean, why would they, place their boots and their backpacks and their weapons and clothes all folded and put away?
Whenever I hunt deer, this is just me, and I've seen a lot of other deer hunters do it. Whenever we cape a deer, when we take the skin off a deer, we will always roll it up, fold it up, and lay it somewhere. When we take the guts out of a deer, we always lay them in a particular spot. When we take the legs off, we'll lay the legs on top of the skin. I mean, we even as humans arrange our prey in certain ways when we do clean them. Like a catfish, for instance, even down to a catfish. When I take the skin off of the catfish, I don't just throw it all over the place. I take it, I arrange it in one way, and I stack it all together. I don't know why I do it. I just do it. My friends do the same thing. So if they're treating the clothes like an outer layer of skin, they're just removing the clothes, fold them up, and set them aside because, they're preparing you for a feast.
That's so disturbing.
Yeah.
But what doesn't make sense to me, if they're going to eat you and they're going to go through the time of making sure to take your rifle, I mean, if they can make you completely disappear, why are they going to leave a trail later behind someplace that they search? My opinion on the reason why they do that is because they can. To taunt the people who were searching for them. Because these creatures are pure evil. They get a kick and enjoyment out of killing and eating humans. And then they like showing off what they're capable of doing. Like in some of those missing 411 stories, when the body is found very high up on top of a mountaintop where there's no way the person could have gotten there. And that's just repeated over and over and over again. I mean, they could make these people disappear, but they make an intention to have the body show back up. Why? Because they're rubbing it in our face. That's my opinion. They're doing it intentionally.
And some of those bodies that are found on top of mountaintops or in certain areas, coroners have said that they look like they've fallen from a large drop area, even though there's nowhere that they could have fallen from. But I also wanted to mention too, like we were talking about the well the other day, Mike, and how I said wells are creepy because it always reminds me of the stories where there are other things that have dug these tunnels into these wells that they've been coming out of. Well, if you go to the bottom of a well and there's an entry place for something else to be coming out of, where does those tunnels lead to? Could it be leading to a larger body of water, like an underground cave system that is connected to one of these rivers? And now they've got complete and direct access to local residents because they've now dug tunnels into their property wells.
I think that's very plausible. And I think what Randy said, as far as leaving it and showing off too, we know that they're not only eating us because they're hungry, they're eating us because of what we believe they come from. I'm not going to force my belief off on anybody, but I believe that they're Nephilim, and I understand everybody has other, like we said, until we can prove it, we don't know who's right. There are no experts, but based on the evidence, I believe that they are Nephilim. And if they are Nephilim, by leaving that out there, showing that they are consuming the blood of humans, and we were told, not to consume blood no more. We're not supposed to consume blood. So they leave that as a taunting ha ha ha. I mean, it's whenever we go into the woods, guys, we're not in our domain no more. We're in their home. And I think that it could be okay. Well, what is one of the things that we know that demons are? They're narcissistic. They have pride. They are proud. So they would leave something like that to show off. They would, a ha ha in your face, kind of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're very prideful, and I believe they're very arrogant, self-centered, narcissistic beings that want it to be all about them. And I actually know a few of those that are in human skin that run around. But I mean, that's just how they are. That is the signs of possession. Okay, moving on with this. I looked up a little bit about Tom because I was interested as an investigator. Some of the things about Tom, some personal things. Tom served in the U.S. Army as a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne Division. He was 5 foot 10 inches tall, and he weighed about 160 pounds. He kept in shape. Tom was very adamant about staying in shape. He was an experienced hunter and also a woodsman. And here you go. He taught hunter and military survival training for years. This guy knew his stuff.
Yes.
People like him don't just go missing. Not yet, Don. Not yet. That's coming, though. I know Don knows what we're talking about. Hello, Bohica. Good to see you. Glad you was able to make it in tonight. Now, here's the thing. This is where I'm going to get pissed off just a little bit. As an investigator, I look at this report and I say, BS. This, to me, is trying to lead everybody in the wrong direction. And this comes from 12 years of proven reports. I can see exactly what they're doing right here, in my opinion. This is my opinion. So they come out and they say, oh, yeah, Tom went missing, guys. Another guy in the woods went missing. But, he was 82 years old, and he did have a history of heart problems, and he lost one eye in an accident with an explosive device in his early 20s. So he had poor vision and limited hearing, as well as 159 stitches he had had in his hand. He had also just gotten over a case of the shingles and nearly decided not to go on an annual hunting trip. So, what they're trying to do is they're trying to put into I took media relations also. What they're trying to do is they're trying to put into your all's minds, this man went into the woods in poor condition and he suffered a heart attack. Poor Tom. Nothing to see here. But then what I would argue with them, if I was sitting there, I'd probably get in trouble, or I'd be on the next 411 for arguing this, is because I would say, okay, so you're saying he has a history of heart problems. If he had a heart attack and died, why was he not laying there with these guns and his equipment? People that have heart attacks don't get up and walk away. If an animal came up, he'd had a heart attack and died, then they would have feasted on him a little bit, carried him away, probably up a tree, or stuck him in a den. Dogs, the search dogs would have been all over that. They would have smelt that everywhere. So I'd say it didn't happen. He had poor vision, guys. The poor guy had poor vision. He probably got blindsided by something. Well, yeah, you can argue he had poor vision, but case studies show people that do lose one of their, say, like smelling or hearing or something, their other senses sharpen. This guy lost his eye in his 20s. That means he was used to not having that eye, and his other senses had already compensated for that loss. So, in my opinion, he was not at a disadvantage for that. Another thing they say is he had 159 stitches in his hand. That wouldn't have had anything to do with him going missing, in my opinion. He also had just gotten over a case of shingles. I had the shingles on my arm, guys. It did not even stop me from a game of football or baseball, so that wasn't anything that stopped him. So that right there, in my opinion, is just pure bullshit. And it's the wardens wanting to throw a narrative out there. Nothing to see here, folks. He was an old man. He had a lot of disabilities, and he shouldn't have been out there in the first place.
They have to cover it up. If they don't cover it up, how else can they make us believe a lie?
You know, another thing is for him being in his 80s and stuff. I'll say, my grandfather. I think he was almost 90 when he passed away, and in his 80s, he was still riding his bike like 7 miles a day every morning. So, I mean, just because one person in their 80s might look a little bit more fragile, I mean, obviously he was out there still hunting with everybody. And again, like you said, a lot of those things that they try and push off as, yeah, he was weak or feeble, he'd been living with that for years. It's not going to stop somebody like him. No. People nowadays just aren't built like some of these 80-year-old guys nowadays. So, I don't buy that at all.
I agree with you, Jesse.
I, again, think it's just one of their CYA, man. It's a CYA. Definitely gives.
And it's like if the person had a GPS, if the person is not on world, that GPS isn't going to do you any good. Or deep in a cave,
Right.
that GPS isn't going to do any good either.
Well, and
Right.
I've heard several times where people have had GPSs and have had missing time, and upon coming back around have discovered that they were shown in several places within minutes of it, apart. How is that possible?
Well, I got an answer for you. And I think this is pretty interesting, too. I actually listened to this unfold on my scanner at home. The National Guard helicopter Black Hawk, equipped with a thermal camera, was called in to assist in the capture and aid with something that had just attacked a man that came out of the woods that the woman described as tall, black, and bipedal. The helicopter is chasing this creature on thermal down the river. There is, you all see where I walk. I mean, there is stuff that's washed up. I don't even go in where it's the worst. I mean, this stuff, you have so much washed up stuff. Whatever they was chasing, the guy in the helicopter said over the radio, I don't know what this thing is, but it's moving so fast on two legs, we're having trouble keeping up with it. Black Hawk helicopter chasing something over heavy, bad terrain, and they're having trouble keeping up with it. 5 minutes later, they come across, you know what they say? It's gone. We don't know where it went. It's gone.
Hey, Mike, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, if a Black Hawk can't keep up with these things, you think you're going to outrun them on foot?
No, that's why I've been working. That's why I've been working out lately, in case I have to get physical. But no, you don't have a chance to get away from these things. I mean, common sense, tells you if it's far enough away, up on top of a hill and it's coming at you and you're close to your car, yeah, you can probably get to your car. If you're out in the middle of the woods and like I was in the last video and they're 50 yards from you and they decide, you know what, I don't want him to get back to his car, you're not going to make it back to your car.
I would concur.
I think that you're at that point. You're a meat sack, as Randy says.
That's all the human body is. It's a meat sack to these creatures.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I would agree. So he was last seen at 10 a.m. that morning, guys. When Messik did not show up at the agreed upon time, his friends called the forest rangers and they searched from 4:30 p.m. It got dark around 7, and at that point, half of the group stayed, fired off their rifles into the air, honked their car horns to attract Tom to the area. The remaining men left the scene and reported him missing to the family and authorities. They had given up. Of course, there's probably not much more they could do, and they was seeking, a larger search team, which I agree with that. The day after Tom had disappeared on November 16th, the search stated that 13 trained SAR, search and rescue is what that means, if y'all don't know, professionals from the Park Service. It was well organized from the start. But here's something I found as I dug deeper that bothered me. The Park Service denied all other searchers that were not part of the Park Service. Who wants to speculate on that one first?
So, who would that include, though? I mean, is that normal?
No. Normally, you will accept all professional search and rescuers in a missing person.
Okay.
So, this is my thoughts, guys. If I go missing tomorrow, guys, I love life. I am not suicidal. I love everything that I do in my family, but my opinion is national parks do not keep records of missing people. There's a reason they do that. National parks only use their resources, and if their resources are not enough, they use the military, i.e. Dennis Martin. They keep everything federal. Because if somebody on the state level or just a regular search and rescue team, which, guys, God bless you all that do that are not considered SAR, pros, but there is a lot of people around that do search and rescues that are, in my opinion, just as good, just as valuable. If you allow one of those people into one of these state parks and they take a photograph of something they're not, supposed to, and they don't say anything and it gets out, that can really hurt this, these federal parks. So they got to keep this stuff under wraps. And part of them keeping it under wraps is they say they do not keep records. My opinion is, and I cannot prove this, they do keep records, but they're unofficial records. And the reason they do that is so people like us cannot file a FOIA on it. That's my opinion.
Speaking of that, didn't David Plotty try to get a list from a national park, and they wanted over $1 million for the list?
Yeah, they made it where it was unattainable.
Yeah, like, we have to charge per page, and it was ridiculous.
So how could they not keep a list? What was he going to get for that 1.2, whatever they wanted to? What was going to be on those if they don't have a list of missing people?
Right. Exactly. And even if you paid $1 million, who's to say they're not going to walk out with a list like this and say, "Here you go. This is all we got."
Yeah.
Thanks for the money, though.
Well, if the general public knew what was in the national parks, they'd stop going. If they knew that their children and them could be lunch for some creature, I mean, would you take your kids to a national park if you knew they could get eaten? Would you?
Absolutely not. No.
Depends on
absolutely not.
Would you take your kids to a park if you knew they could be eaten?
Absolutely not.
And then what would happen to their funding if the truth got out?
They'd go bankrupt.
And how else better to keep the food costs down of your pets is you let them eat occasional somebody who wanders into the park. People come up missing all the time. They fall into a hole. Bear gets them. A lion gets them. It happens everywhere. And then small dogs kill people all the time too. Why are we hunting these little small dogs that's killing all these people? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, I mean, let's take it even a step further. You admit they exist. How many lawsuits are going to be filed on you from all the times of everybody's went missing, attacked, and ate? Oh, y'all knew that stuff was out there that ate Grandpa, and you said there was nothing out there?
Can you imagine the backlash? the people hiding the juice, sitting on the truth, knowing about it. Can you imagine the families who've lost children and loved ones? Can you imagine the outrage, the outcry for justice?
And you have to think about too the stupidity of some people that do go into these parks, and the stupid people that I'm talking about are the ones that have the forewarning, don't feed the bears, stay away from the wildlife, don't approach, bison to try and get photos. And you still have people, stay on the path, and you still have people that aren't cognizant of the wildlife and what's out there, regardless of the cryptids that are out there in these woods. And they're doing stupid stuff, and yet get themselves into predicaments and then try and sue the forest parks because they decided to do something stupid. If they were to even announce that these things are out there, and you have more people, even, let's say they don't say they're going to avoid the forest, but now they're going to go find these things because they've admitted that they're out there. And now you have whole search teams going missing because you have more and more people out there hunting them or looking for them or trying to get photos with them. And I mean, it just opens up a huge can of worms there too. Just my thought.
No, that's an interesting opinion.
I just think about like the people that are getting gored by bison because they want to get that cute little.
Well, stupid people are always going to do stupid things to get themselves killed. So if they want to go hunt monsters, let them. That's just less people we have. We don't need stupid people breeding. Really? I'm kidding.
I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, what am I doing?
Then we don't have to worry about them breeding and making more stupid people, right?
True.
Well, again, and they reiterate in the report that after they done their search that nothing was found, no clues, not his rifle, his walkie-talkie. More than 4 square miles were searched, with a larger area being searched by air with the aid of a helicopter from the State Police Aviation Unit. Probably, I would say they used thermal is probably what they used, thermal or FLIR. FLIR is pretty popular. I don't know if they would have had FLIR as well back then. I'm not sure, but they would have had some kind of a night vision device or something that they would have used. This is what I think is pretty important, though, and I think that this is pretty interesting. Now, you don't have no volunteer people in there, but more than 15 federal agencies involved in this search. What made this so important?
Question, Mike, from my wife.
Huh?
Do you know if the FBI was involved in the search at all?
Yes. In fact, more than 15 federal agencies were involved in this search.
Holy cow.
For a missing 82-year-old man that was hunting. Let me name off a few for you. The DEC Forest Rangers, DEC Police, K-9 Unit, DEC Police Officers, the FBI Quick Response Team, State Special Police Operations Response Team, the Warren County Sheriff's Office Tactical Team. Yeah. Sorry. There we go. You have the Operations Response Team, Warren County Sheriff's Tactical Team. You have the volunteers from the United States Marine Corps came down. And you have the FBI.
Sure firepower for one person missing,
Oh, it gets better than that. How about this? The FBI Cold Case Division also arrived.
What?
Oh my! I thought they weren't accepting outside help on this.
Oh, here's the best part. I saved this for last. All media was removed from the federal property during the search.
They didn't want the information, whatever it was, getting out.
Well, wanted to keep it hush hush. Yeah.
So, what if? This is a big what if. This is a theory. I do not even know if this happened, did not happen. What if they found him and they got rid of whatever done it?
Very likely. Maybe they found him mutilated and they covered it up so the public wouldn't find out. And then they brought in the Marines to kill it.
Y'all remember the story that came out about Dennis Martin, right? Whenever they sent in the military, the Green Berets. Remember what they said? One of the Green Berets came forward and said, we weren't sent in there for a search and rescue. We were sent in there to make sure that Dennis and whatever done this wasn't never discovered. They said they did find him and they burned him in a pile with these things that they went in and eradicated. That video has been removed from YouTube everywhere. You can't find it anymore.
Well, and we already know that they lied to the families too. They don't give everything to the family, let them know what happened. So that fits.
Well, they tell us Bigfoot don't exist, and well, we know better than that, don't we, Mike and Jesse?
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And lying to us about Bigfoot. What else are they lying to us about?
Woo.
What was that?
Lightning.
Yeah,
Very,
you're
very
getting it
frightening.
too. Yeah, you're getting it
Yeah.
too.
And the internet's staying on.
Hey,
This new internet is awesome, guys. I wouldn't be on the old internet that I had during a storm like this.
right. Well, you be careful in that storm too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm inside the house. I'm not going outside.
I don't blame you. So, let me read this paragraph to you guys. The weather was poor with heavy rain, okay, right before a front. The sniffer dogs that were deployed before the worst of the rain had arrived. Searchers walked through the woods, including swamps, no matter how thick they were, and they checked nearby roads. But there was absolutely nothing. Areas were tied off with string to box off specific areas, allowing a detailed search of every grid zone. It was described as a spider's web of string through the forest. Every inch of that forest was searched. FBI black unmarked helicopters from the cold files would come in and land in designated areas away from even the military and would leave. These helicopters were not running their transponders.
Wouldn't you like to have somebody who was there come forward and tell you what actually took place? I'd like to know the rest of the story. I really would.
Wow.
This is like with the X-Files. I mean,
Right.
really would have the X-Files written all over this one.
Man, it would be nice to talk to one of those chopper pilots. You know, seems like sooner or later they usually come forward with something.
You
I
know,
bet you that
I'm surprised we haven't had whistleblowers come forward. I mean, they're coming forward on everything else.
they probably love their family too much.
Yeah.
Hey, but I'd say if they want to come forward on your show, you can keep them anonymous, right?
Yeah, no, we couldn't. not if the black helicopter people want to know. They'll find out. They probably find out a lot of stuff. Now,
Yeah.
another thing here, and I think this is important too, that I found, I think y'all find pretty interesting, is given his age, searchers were baffled as he could not have gotten far from his original location. And some said it was weird that there were no sounds of wildlife while the search and rescue teams were in operation. Even the Marines and the Rangers made conversation several times. These woods are too quiet. Something here is off. The Marines, when they landed on U.S. soil, landed with fully loaded weapons.
For a
That
search and rescue.
was
Yeah.
So,
They knew what they were looking for. They knew, the Marines knew what they were looking for, didn't they, Randy?
Are you talking? I lose you.
What was that? Who said that?
Is he talking?
no,
Oh, okay.
no,
I
no,
thought
I
I
was
lost
listening. No, I'm reading. Sorry, I was reading and thinking. So, moving on.
Wasn't there another story like this where they somebody went up? It was a similar story in a park. Somebody came up missing, and they sent military in there looking for the guy. I just don't remember what
Dennis
was
Martin.
that.
Yeah, Dennis Martin. They used military. I think they've probably done it on several cases, to be honest. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember hearing another story of a kid where they did something similar. He had ADHD and autism, I think.
Right.
And I think that was in California. And yeah, they sent in the military.
Well, this part I found here, I thought went really good with my theory. As I was looking into it, I found this, and I think y'all will like this. The search area had many caves, crevices, and other hazards. Could he have been somehow fallen into one of these? For a man of his age, was he mobile enough? Why was there no clues? One of the military officers said, I believe he's underground, and was dismissed from the search and was removed by helicopter.
Was he dismissed prior to wait, because of that opinion, or was he dismissed?
It was because
Because
of his opinion. It was because how he made the opinion. Because he said he
That's
believed something took him underground.
Yeah, he knew that it wasn't a normal animal, and they got rid of him because they didn't want. Probably the Marines didn't know exactly what they were there for, so only probably a selective few knew exactly what they were dealing with, but not everybody knew what they were dealing with.
A lot of times when you send in certain teams.
There's a recent case of a guy coming up missing in Montana. Have you heard anything about that? It's a recent case.
I don't think so.
My wife is telling me about it, but a guy came up missing. What was he?
He was
A known hunter.
and he came up missing for several years, and they done the military and like several years later they found his boot.
They found his boot several years later. I don't have a name on the person. I'll give you more information as I find out.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to look into that. And then another thing I thought was pretty weird is they said surprisingly the FBI arrived on the fourth day, which was November 19th. This was unusual. The FBI never usually gets involved in these type of missing person cases unless they fall under federal jurisdiction, e.g., they happened on federal land or was believed a kidnapping was involved or a crime was committed, not for a missing person. They don't get involved in missing persons that just go lost. And especially the military presence. And then one general, which they redacted his name, I wasn't able to get that, it was redacted and blacked out, made the statement, even if the military was there for a search and rescue case, they would not have been on American soil with loaded firearms.
Right.
So I wonder if he still has his job.
I wonder if he's still alive.
Yeah.
You don't know his name.
It was redacted.
I mean, they got him out of there pretty quickly. I wonder if he
I didn't think about that, Randy. I think you're onto something. Was he the one that said something took him underground? Ooh, I wonder if that goes together. Was he also the redacted man?
We don't know.
Wow.
Getting deep, isn't
Let's move on.
it?
Tom's wife, Beverly, said, "The FBI told me something isn't right with this case, but they don't know what it is. They won't even share any theories with me. They said it was all confidential. The FBI said until they make a discovery, we're just never going to know what happened to Tom." But subsequently, investigators said there have been no indications of foul play. How can you make that assertion when you ain't got a body? That pisses me off. David Winchell, a spokesperson for the DEC, said rangers continued to search the area on a limited, continuous basis since the wide-scale ground search ended in January 2016. That means rangers check the area periodically for evidence or clues. They're expecting him to show up. You know they are.
Right.
Or at least something of him to show up.
Could this guy have been bitten by something and then changed into a different creature? I mean,
Theoretically, anything's possible.
did he encounter something and it made him like a bioweapon? Made him, I don't know. I mean,
I would agree with the gentleman that was redacted that these people are taken underground.
yeah.
In the summer of 2008, okay.
If these creatures grabbed them, this guy's not going to, unless he didn't get his weapon out of the holster and it just carried him wherever it took him underground, and he didn't drop anything between there and here, that means something went back and picked up anything he dropped to cover up the evidence, right?
Right.
Or was this, do we know that he was mutilated by something, or is that just a theory?
They have no idea. There was no crime scene. There was no signs of struggle, anything. I don't think so, OCST, but I know what you're talking about.
It's like this. They can't find the trail, so how they know how do they know where to look? Where would you begin to hunt for something like that? The dogs can't even find the trail. I mean, seriously.
You just have to take the word of his friends, at where he was supposed to be sitting.
And nobody there heard anything.
No, they heard something. We're going to get to that. There was a noise.
Okay.
But that noise was not in the official report.
It better not be what I think the noise is. After we've been talking about noises for a couple of days, I think it might be doing with this one.
It's going to get deep. In the summer of 2018, the state police used sniffer dogs again, trained to detect cadavers, to go through portions of the woods and the fields near the Messik Disappeared. State police investigator John Diet said no clues were found, but the police investigation will be left open and ongoing. Yeah, so you can't file a FOIA. That's why they do that. One of the participants in the hunting group was interviewed by David Paulides. I give David Paulides this is his work, guys, so he gets the recognition for this. David Paulides conducted an interview with one of the participants of the group. One of the participants in the group, David Paulides, asked him, "Did you hear or see anything strange in the woods?" He answered, "I heard a strange noise in the woods, but I don't know what it was, really, just a different noise from what I usually hear, It sounded like a large steel door or something like that slammed shut and creaked as it shut." Like what? David Paulides said. "It'd be hard for me to explain," he said, "because it was different, something different that I never heard before in the woods. I just can't really say what it was, And then he said, "How long in duration was it?" David Paulides asked. "Was it 2 or 3 seconds?" "No, it's just whatever it is, like an old creaky door slamming shut. How far away was it? David Politis asked. I'd say it was probably 150 yards, something like that. Was it toward Tom or away from Tom? David Politis asked. This was up towards the hill, the top of the hill, so yeah, it was. Did you tell the cops about this? No, but I told the federal agents about it. But they just passed it off, you know. The investigation into Messik's disappearance is still classified as an active missing person case by authorities at this time.
Now that makes more sense about some of the, they keep going back because they're expecting him to come back through the portal. That's why they're sending people in there periodically looking for him. They're expecting that portal to open back up, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not really? And I'm going to. How many times have we've thought we've heard a door shut when I've been out?
That's
that really.
That's why you need a better camera so you can have one on your back at night and see what the hell's behind you. Because there's a lot of activity going on behind you, especially some of those EVPs may not be EVPs. Those things might be behind you, looking over your shoulder, looking at the battery level on the phone. I mean, that's get back to you.
Well, I'll let Jesse address that because we've talked about that and has some theories on that actually.
About them reading stuff over your shoulder?
Yeah, about it not being EVPs and them actually communicating with people in chat.
Yeah, I think they're using chat kind of like what they would use, like basically like a Ouija board, and they are communicating with people in chat and responding. And they're right next to you. They're reading it. I originally thought that it was maybe, like we had talked about originally with the demons knowing us and watching us and being able to read our body language and that sort of thing and listening to the things that we're saying. But it was clear as day after a few of the last times you went out, boots on the ground. They were reading directly from chat. They were responding to comments that were being said about, Randy and his cat. When they said, good night, Amanda, before you had even said anything, when Amanda said she was leaving, and they responded to, everybody in chat saying, oh, good night, Amanda.
Right.
That wasn't even addressed out loud. They were reading chat 100%. So something is definitely extremely close to you and reading over your shoulder. They're seeing exactly what's coming across in chat.
I have another theory. Maybe they don't have to look over his shoulder. Who's the prince of the air? How we are communicating, there's signals going out through the air. Perhaps these creatures can read them naturally.
Just directly through the electronics and
the air. Because
Internet.
if they are children of the fallen angels, they're going to have advanced abilities that we don't. Does that make any sense? We don't know what their supernatural abilities are. So maybe one of their natural abilities are to interpret the airwaves. Like the movie The Matrix, they can see everything in the air.
Well, it would go right along with the internet being fallen angel technology.
There you go.
So is that why we're told not to strobe the sky with our flashlights because of the air? Not to strobe the sky?
I'm told not to strobe the sky because it brings in the demon aliens. You're just calling them in.
Maybe I'll have to strobe the sky one night and see if it ups anything.
Oh, goodness.
You think it would change anything?
No comment.
You can always try and see, but you may not like the response. What if something does show up,
Right.
You go call it, somebody might answer it.
FAFO.
You go, what are you going to do? You go flashing a light in the air, and then something all of a sudden starts flashing back and decides to come down and land by you.
Yeah. It's like touching
by
that
the
hot
way-
pot on the stove, you know?
My security team was pretty upset the other night because some people had made the comment that, "Where's Mike's security team? Where's Mike's security team?" which pissed them off. And their answer, and they wanted me to tell everybody, this is from them, not me. They said they are called the FAFO team, the FAFO team, and anybody that doesn't believe in their ability, then just FAFO.
Well, I will say this: they don't want to meet your security team if they're hostile. That's all.
Especially whenever they come looking for me the other day on my wide open adventures. The way they done that.
How fast did they show up? Pretty darn quick, huh?
Yeah. And they was ready from anything from airplanes to whatever else might show up. So it was pretty funny.
Feel bad for that poor fisherman.
People can make their little threats and stuff, but Mike is secured. His security team is no shit.
Yeah.
And they do business, and that's all I can say. They take their job protecting Mike very seriously.
Oh yeah. And we've even got to the point to where they started doing what I'm doing. I let them know 24 hours ahead of time where I'm going to be going. And they actually go down to the area and they set up night vision cameras and stuff that record like deer cams and stuff. And anybody that comes in there to cause me harm or anything that might try to get away, you're going to be on video, and they're going to have your photos, and they're going to have your tag number and your vehicle. They set it all up for me.
Hey, check out Don Moore chat. He's got information on that guy that my wife was talking about, I believe.
Okay.
Can you read chat?
Aaron Joseph. Yeah, I think I covered Aaron Joseph. No, I did not. The guy that I done was Aaron Hedges. No, I haven't. Let me see. Let me write that down. Aaron.
He's going to check into him, I think, for you, babe. My wife was into this.
I'll look into that for sure. I'll check it out.
He'll check into it, babe, for you.
Definitely. Next Boots on the Ground, guys. The dark time one is going to be this next Sunday. I'm doing, like I said, a very important interview on the 14th. That'll be released as a premiere. Y'all's going to really like that one. It's going to be good. Guys, I really don't have any more for tonight. It's raining. It's lightning. Get everybody off of these computers. Randy, too. He's wearing a headset. I really don't want to be the first person to ride the lightning.
Bluetooth. It's not going to get me. You, Mike.
I don't want to ride the lightning live. So I don't want to go viral that way. But we're starting to get a lot more lightning. So, Jesse, if you would, we'll start wrapping this one up tonight.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up, being here, giving your input. Hope to see you on Thursday, and stay safe. God bless. Randy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we could not have a show without y'all. Thank y'all, each and every one of you. From the subscribers to the members and everyone else in between. Thank you all for showing up and supporting the Abnormal Investigation channel. Remember, don't do anything you see Mike do. It can get you killed. Don't be stupid. Just don't do what he does. God bless you. God bless your families. And have a good night.
Guys, one of the things I would like to say also is keep CRJ, Harold, and their family in your prayers. She's went through a whole lot. The whole family has. We keep you in our prayers. You're in our thoughts and still in our prayers. And we're still praying for you. I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up tonight, for supporting us on the Boots on the Ground. Our Boots on the Ground on our channel is really taken off. We appreciate that. AI Seeking the Truth has really picked up. It gained over 3,000 views the other day. Just totally blessed. Glory to God for everything that's happening in all these channels. I give him the glory. Hunter, I love you so much. It won't be long, buddy. We'll be back together. I say that with true confidence, that I know that something big is coming. A lot's coming out. God again, all glory to God. And I will see my son again, and we will catch up on the things that we had planned. We have a lot to catch up on, and I am ready for that day. I believe it, and my faith tells me to have faith, to say it, believe it, proclaim it, and receive it. And I do in the blood of Christ. And it is written, and I say amen, and I stand on that. And until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. God bless, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.